Hi, everybody. I'm Matthew Dixon. Very pleased to join you today on 3.0 TV. So, happy holidays to everybody. We've got a special Diwali edition or interview today, which is going to be really interesting, looking at what's happened with the current sell-off, what's the outlook for the future, how best to invest as a retail investor. Lots of interesting questions addressed there. So, first of all, we'll focus on today's Market Watch video or Traders Report video, I should say. And obviously, we've had this sharp sell-off over the weekend, but things seem to be rebounding nicely. So we'll look at various charts to see where we're going. So Bitcoin, of course, potentially we've had some sort of A wave down, B wave up, C wave down, possibly, and we may be heading up now in another impulsive wave to the upside. So long term, this is expected. We do expect new all-time highs. If I just focus out or zoom out to the long term, we can actually see that we're near a potential market top. And I say this because it's happened many times before at the previous halving cycles. These halving cycles are denoted at the beginning of these pink bands. That's each one of those. The beginning of it is a halving cycle. And about normally for the last three cycles anyway, around about 40% in, just after the 38.2% of the way into the halving cycle, we've had a peak in the market. And that's happened every time so far. Now we're currently getting towards a peak in the market, and we're at that same level, about 38.2 or just beyond, approaching 40% into this current halving cycle. So we may expect there to be a peak around this time, but we do expect possibly another push to new all-time highs for Bitcoin and for other assets. Of course, there are no guarantees. Do your own due diligence, but things are looking really promising at the moment. As we go through the charts, we'll see some of the positive signals that are there, not just for Bitcoin, but for others as well. Litecoin as well suffered that sell-off. I'll go back to the daily now and just show where we're at on the daily. Again, we appear to have had a corrective move to the downside, an A down, a B up, and a C down to complete a wave four. So we should be pushing up in a final wave five now to the upside to take us probably to new all-time highs for Ethereum. So that's looking very probable. This definitely looks like a correction. There's definite overlap with this movement up here, overlapping this movement down here. And even this morning, yeah, we're just about approaching this movement. If we just move a little bit higher, we'll have dipped again into the territory of this move down. So that would be further confirmation that we're likely to head to the upside. So we'll watch markets closely. XRP has been a very, very interesting one. I relabeled this slightly. I think that maybe we had an X wave higher. We're looking at a potential Y wave down. Now, Y wave would be made up of three waves. So we have basically an A wave down. So ABC is making the A wave down. I'll just put that label in there. Just put it in here to show where the A wave would have been. I'll probably put it a bit larger because it's quite a big wave. Let's just put it up to 16 there. So that would be an A wave down. And then we would have, on that same scale, we have a triangle. And I'll just go through that triangle for you in a moment. That's a B wave. So the Y wave itself is made up of ABC. So this is the Y wave that I'm proposing, is over and complete now. So Y wave is made up of three waves itself. So we have an A wave down. We've got a B wave, which is a triangle, A, B, C, D, E. Now, remember, very importantly, a triangle is a pre-terminal move. So the thrust out of the triangle is normally very aggressive, but it's normally the final move in this particular cycle. So this cycle, the Y wave cycle is downwards. This final move, the C wave, is downwards. So this is the aggressive thrust from the triangle downwards. So most likely, this is the final wave in this cycle. It's the thrust from the triangle. Triangle is pre-terminal. The thrust is terminal. We should then move sharply to the upside. And we can see that's happened really aggressively so far, moving to the upside. So that gives me great confidence across the board that we do have plenty of fuel in the tank to go higher. Just checking my battery level there. Still plenty to go. Solana we'll move on to next. Solana is looking amazing. We have had an ABC. We can see that quite clearly. ABC moved down. Now at the top here, we had long-term. I'll just put it in here. Long-term, we had hidden bearish divergence with this red line telling us price was going to move down. We also had regular bearish divergence over a shorter term, again, telling us price was going to move down. So two different divergence signals, both hidden and regular bearish divergence signals, telling us price was going to move down. Precisely what happened. So we've got a very clear zigzag, A, B, C, zigzag down to complete the correction. I now believe we're moving to the upside, should take us to new highs above this level. So a long way higher to go for Solana. And another little signal I really like, this green line here, which actually is another divergence signal, but this time it's hidden bullish divergence. So we have lower highs on price and we have higher lows on price and we have lower lows on RSI. That is a hidden bullish divergence signal telling us price from this point here was about to push to the upside, precisely what's happening. So it's amazing. After two bearish signals, we then had a bullish signal telling us the reversal. So if you've gone short here, you knew exactly where to close it. And price is moving now rapidly to the upside on Solana. So lots of good news in the pipeline for Solana. Potentially, once this government shutdown is over, then Solana is one of the first tokens that are tagged to have an authorized ETF. So they should hopefully achieve approval for their ETF. The Trump tariffs also, there's negotiations going on now, so hopefully that will smooth out, and that was the cause of the recent sell-off over the weekend. So lots of positive signals. I'm really bullish. I could go through all sorts of other assets. I won't now. I think we've done enough. We've set enough of the flavor is really bullish at the moment. I think we've had a really healthy but sharp correction. I think we're heading to new all-time highs. Or at least with Solana, at least challenge the previous all-time high of 295. But Bitcoin all-time should get new all-time high. So should Ethereum. So should XRP. Things are looking bullish right now. So very refreshing after the sharp sell-off. Hope you guys all take advantage of it. I hope you enjoy the holiday. Thank you so much for listening, and bye for now. Oh, by the way, don't forget to check my Twitter @MDTrade. Lots of updates there on a daily basis. Thanks again. Bye for now.